back after 1 week holidays.
Yeah, back at work.
So yeah, it was nice, intense weekend, but nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
You look more relaxed, I have to say that.
Oh, my new look. Look at this.
How long did the haircut take?
Oh, fuck, insane. 4 hours. And the idea was do this white thing, no?
Yeah.
Like a my Cruella de Vil. But then after 4 hours, I didn't like the color. So they need to rechange. So, well, that's it. Cheers, guys.
Well, cheers. Welcome to the restaurant, guys. We actually don't have anything planned for today. So we're just going to rant about whatever comes up, really, I think, right?
Totally. Well, every day we have different experiences at work. We have different guests. They come and visit us, enjoy the food, have a grateful time. But also we have that guest. Sometimes they come in and just are a bit, how I can say it nicely, annoyed. I try my best, but since English is not my first language, I don't have many words to use, so I will use that one. But
yeah, no, it is a good word.
It's a good word, right?
Yeah.
But in the end, it's fun. No? It is what it is. People sometimes like what they have, and sometimes people don't understand. Or sometimes I believe people have just a bad day, and then just they want to have a reward, and then of course need to bitch someone else, and they choose
they need to have a rant as well, clearly. But they choose it in our restaurants. So, yeah. Have you had any experiences this week or recently with anyone in particular?
Not really. Oh well, I've had few tables. It is funny, and I love when someone goes and try to change the menu on the food, no? And then
we have a menu for a reason.
Exactly. We put a lot of effort, a lot of love in these menus, no, in the creation of the menus, and we put this sauce with this meat for a certain reason.
Yeah.
And we understand when people is by dietary requests or allergies.
When you have genuine allergies, I mean, not you just don't like it, genuine allergies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because the last thing we want to do in our restaurants is make people sick, right?
Of course. Yeah. You know, like peanuts and shellfish is the first thing I always stop it when someone is like, I'm allergic, because it's something really, really tough. But when it's more like a preference and they put the case as, if I eat that one, I will die. No, like a black pepper, like, okay.
Yeah, the ones I always find really weird is like, he doesn't eat coriander, he's allergic. And I'm like, I don't think anyone's allergic to coriander or something like that. I don't think coriander really has any properties. Like you said, peanuts, I get it. Yeah. It's like, just tell me you don't like it and I'll try to mitigate it from anywhere. But if you genuinely are allergic to something, I need to know. And it's like, but no, you're not allergic.
I have that one on the weekend, like allergic to pumpkin. And I was like, what is it? And then it's funny because we are busy and my waiters, they need to put all the notes, right, in the tickets. So they write, the guest is allergic to pumpkin. And I have a salad with a roasted pumpkin. And I don't mind to take it out because it's not important part of the dish. No, but I was just laughing, and like I said, no, I need to check. And quite faster I was googling, and of course exists this allergic of pumpkin. No, it's really rare. No, and then the more worst part, they will bring you itchiness and all that stuff.
Do you think they're genuinely allergic?
No, I think they have a bad experience with Cinderella movie. So when they eat pumpkin, it's like
was it midnight?
Exactly. Right? No. I cannot eat this one, it's midnight, I'm allergic to pumpkin now! So, it's really funny, that one. Same as of course I take it out from the salad and I put just on the side, but sometimes it's really annoying. Of course, if it's a dish that the primordial part is that product that the person cannot take it, I won't serve the dish, because you destroy the food. You make suggest other facts. No?
Yeah, I do it in the same way. Like, we have some people, so we do the Sicilian prawns, the gambas pil in El Cerdo, right? And some people are like, I want no paprika. Generally not allergic. And I'm like, I can do it for you, but it's not going to taste the same. Exactly. It's not going to be good. If you want it, it's on you. And you can't tell us that it tastes bad. We don't explain it like that, but we tell them, look, it's an essential part of the dish.
Yes.
If you don't, we can do it for you, but
you will not.
It's not. It's like everything about the dish is going. Or some people don't want garlic breath, and like, can we take the garlic out? And I'm like, that's the biggest point of the dish, and it's like, but
Yeah.
I do it for them because it's actually easier for me not to do it with the garlic than it is with the garlic in a sense. But it's like, this isn't the point of the dish. Yeah.
What happens if you already cooked the dish and it's garlic inside? No.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You cannot take it out because already
like we make a meatballs or something like that.
Exactly.
Because the one that always gets me is like people are like, I don't know, they order. I don't know, they order something like meatballs or something like that, and then they try it and they're like, oh, has it got cumin in it? Yeah, it does actually. Oh, I'm allergic to cumin. And I'm like, if you're genuinely allergic to it, as soon as you sat down, you would have told us. You would tell us your allergies. It's not your allergies, you just don't like it. You know?
No, that is funny because as F&B, I think most of the restaurants not have that protocol to ask their guests, hey, do you have any allergy or something like that?
Tokyo Lima always do, right?
We do all the time.
Especially because you have the omakase menu as
yes,
well, right?
Yeah. No, and then they says nothing, and then when our food arrives, oh, by the way, I'm vegan, and you're like, great.
What, just for today or for the rest of your life or what?
And then when they says vegan, I'm like, and this Chanel Gucci.
Yeah.
And all the Prada you have it, nice.
Yeah, the handbags.
That is funny because between diets, allergies, preference, and lifestyle is totally different between people and people. And when you says vegan for me I understand that it's not just about it's a full lifestyle, no?
Yeah.
It's of course go vegetarian, products that now coming from dairy, and also products in the most natural way.
Yep.
And also part of the lifestyle is about simplicity, no? And connect you with the nature. So use leather or use all these fancy creative things is supposed to be no part of the lifestyle of vegan person. Vegan person is a bit more simple. So when I was, I'm vegan, and I see, nice try.
Yeah.
I love your leather boots. So
Yeah,
you're
and then
vegan for eating, but not for dress.
A packet of Haribo 10 minutes later or something like that, and you're like, you're not that vegan.
No.
Yeah. Actually, like going to vegans, I always find vegans funny because they don't eat honey,
yeah.
right? And it's like, okay, you're not killing an animal to make honey. The same with milk, right? You're not killing an animal. I understand the whole farm process, but the thing is, bees make way too much honey for their own use.
Yeah.
So it's like you might as well use it, otherwise it just goes to waste. It's like, you kind of need it.
Exactly.
Like you might as well use it because it's there, right? So
it isn't part. They cannot eat honey.
Yeah.
No, from bees. No, but
well,
they
all
can.
the honey is only, if I'm not mistaken, maybe we'll research this next time. I think the honey
do
is
the
only
maple.
made but it's only made for the queen bee, right? It's not made for the worker bees. The worker bees don't eat it, right?
No.
If I'm maybe I'll search it out for next time. But I think only the queen bee. So you imagine like all that honey that's made is literally for one bee.
I try to figure it out. Maybe I'm not sure because I never.
I'll check that out for
deep,
another.
but we
By
can
the way,
go deep.
We're not scientists, so please don't take our word for this kind of thing.
No, but yeah, like,
Albeit
they don't eat honey, but nice leathers, nice bags. So.
But the thing is, I mean, okay, look at somewhere like Florida in the US, right? I mean, they have way too many alligators that it's become a problem, or snakes or something like that. So it's like, okay, let's
let's kill them.
No, but let's say, okay, so or farmed cows, right? We eat farmed meats. So surely it's better to use everything from that cow, including the skin for leather, than not using it at all. And the thing is, like, okay, let's say the whole world went vegan. What happens to all these cows in the world now? They're just going to die out eventually, and then someone's going to have to eat them, and then you'll have a problem within the food chain anyway, because there's just like way too many cows. And then it's like, so if we're farming them and we're killing them, you might as well use the leather anyway, right? So it's I don't get the whole vegan thing. I think a lot of people do it as a lifestyle thing rather than like being informed. Yeah,
I do understand that they exist for a reason, so they create a balance.
Yeah.
But what is funny for me is like if you are vegan, with all the respectful of all the people who has diets, circumstances different, you must. I think you must respect where you go. No, if you are vegan and they don't have much vegan options, you need to accommodate to what the place have. No, but for me it's funny, like beef tataki. No, and then the beef tatakis of like, got the beef there, no problem. Here, no. Tataki is made from beef.
Yeah.
I mean, beef tatakis it can be replaced, and they want, oh, you have this one in a vegetarian option. I'm like, no. Exactly. No. Oh, the same with the Impossible Burger. I don't get it why you need to have vegetarian meat when you don't eat meat. You know what I mean?
Yes,
That's my point.
Yeah. Something that feels like meat. Why do you want something that feels like meat if you don't eat meat?
Exactly.
But my other thing with Impossible Foods and Beyond Meats or whichever ones are about, do you use them in Tokyo Lima at all?
I used to use in other outlets that is close, but it is hard for me to match and go through to a product that I need to push harder with the guests.
Yeah, because my problem with it is that at the end of the day, it's processed foods, whether it's plants or animals. You know, everyone's saying that animals bad, like animal meats are bad for you. Actually, no, animal meats are good for you as long as it's proper meat, like a proper steak or like proper muscle, not processed. You know, when people say like, oh, meats are bad for you, they're thinking about burgers from McDonald's or frozen lasagnas from Park and Shop or something like that, because it's so processed and it's so full of additives. That's what's bad for you. It's not the meat itself per se, and that's my problem with Impossible Burger. Like I like what they try to do in terms of, you know, okay, let's offer a plant-based alternative, but it's still processed foods.
Yeah.
And processed foods are not good for you. And I'm sure, I again, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure they probably have numbers inside as well, which are not good for you. You know, they need to have some kind of preservative, right?
For sure, everything needs to be frozen and packing and keep.
But it must have like a preservative,
yes,
like a chemical preservative.
I don't remember exactly all the ingredients because I read a lot about it, but yeah, it's like, it is funny. And also when people say it, I'm dairy, no, but then I can eat cheese. I have like okay, you are dairy, but you can eat cheese.
Yeah.
All these funny things is really...
Well, the other one that gets me is like, oh, I'm dairy free. And then I'm like, oh, actually, we have some sheep's cheese on the menu. Oh, I'm dairy free. I'm like, yeah, dairy only comes from cows. Right? And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, you should know more about your dietary requirements. Okay, yeah, I should know a lot, but you should also know about your dietary requirements as well. So, yeah. I know it's better to be safe than sorry, but dairy, what makes them allergic is... I forgot the substance, but something inside that a cow produces that people have an allergy to. So goats, sheep, and all that don't have this chemical in their milk, and they can actually.
Yeah, basically, Is the dairy-free people is just allergic to the oil or product coming from the cow.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Out of that one, you have different options that you can do it. Also, if you are dairy-free, you should know. But that's my point. No, I respect all the options. I respect everyone in the fact that everyone has different reactions in the body. They have different preferences and allergies, and we need to respect it. But if you're not really well informed about it, how can you live your life? No. Because maybe some people is like, it's trendy, say I'm dairy free, so now I'm dairy free, but you didn't get through. So this is my point, when someone don't know exactly and they just try to follow trends. Same as the diets. For example, days ago, I was saying in the past was my number 2, no, and then I was just helping to plating, no, and then he came in, Arturo, what is Paleolithic, keto diet?
Okay.
I was like, hold on, what? Yeah, because table X number have this diet, keto diet, and like, well, actually we know our diet.
Yeah.
We don't make diet for food specific for this certain diet, no. So you can have keto diet, low carb diet. You can have Paleolithic diet, all the diet you wanted, but I won't make my food according to you. You need to know what you are able to eat, mostly in this kind of diets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you need to tell me, for argument's sake, like we had some customers last night, they're like, oh, we have the mini burgers, but we don't want bread. Okay, no problem, you can have that. Because whatever your diet, but you need to tell me what you don't want, not I need to work out what you can and can't have. Like, I understand, like, some things...
Yes.
So I don't know if you've ever seen this, like in Hong Kong, if you have like a serious allergy, the doctors will give you a note in English and Chinese, just in case you go to a restaurant where they don't speak the language, and you can give it to the waiters or the chefs, and then they can read it. So I like this one, and then for me personally, I will always happily go out and talk to the guests and go through the menu with them, because I think if you have that thing from the doctor, it's genuine, right?
Yes,
But if you're
true.
just on a diet per se, you need to tell us what you want, I think. But if you have genuine allergic reactions that are really going to affect you, then yes, of course, we need to make more of an effort, I think. But in terms of just on a diet, it's like,
If you're on a diet and you want to low kilos, you need to understand where to go or what to eat.
yeah,
So it's your responsibility as a person to learning what you can do it. For example,
Yeah.
I was in diet before, obviously not now.
I've
I try
I've
my
never
best.
been on a diet.
No, I was in low carbs. That means it's like no starch, no product. So every day I was just eating proteins and all the carbs I can have it, but no starchy products like a potato, rice, bread. I can take out, and I was having just one cheating day. You know, so in my day off, I don't want to.
Think about it.
Exactly, think about it and just go eat. The funny thing was before I was able to eat 6-7 croissants with extra
Wow.
butter.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
But then, of course, my stomach reduced that one, and I half croissant I was more than enough. But that made me happy, so I didn't take out completely of my diet.
No,
just
just cut
certain
them
days
off. Yeah.
I able to do it, and the other days not. So you need to learn. I need to be informed what is going on, no. But if you pretending that everyone or every restaurant will change all the food for your specific diet, I think that is a bit out of the loop, no. But it is funny to see it, no. Before in the beginning I was getting mad. Now I just make a jokes.
Yeah.
I remember back on the days when I was in Chicha with Donna, when people coming, no, and asking for example, some dish and take it out. We create this joke like I want the eggplant, but I'm allergic to eggs, so can you remove the egg, please? So we have a lot of these nonsense things.
Yeah.
No?
Oh god. Yeah, we can take up the egg. It would just be a plant.
It really is a plant. I
You should have
love.
cut off the green stalk. Just give them that. You know, the green stalk at the top. Go, by the way, because the purple bit is the egg and the green bit is the plant.
For example, may I have the pineapple juice? But I'm allergic to apples, so just can do the pine. Okay, of course I will do that one.
Yeah.
But it is about education to the guests what we are doing, and of course we need to please. This is our responsibility to work in F&B. Make happy our people, but sometimes people are hard to please. No.
Yes. Yeah.
I believe in Tokyo may create a lot of options for different type of diets and lifestyles, we try as much as we can do it. Please you, no? But still, it is funny when all these things coming and suddenly, they don't like something and I'm allergic. And I'm like, it's many times I lie, not many times, but a few times that people says I'm allergic to garlic, and I says no, you don't.
Yeah.
So I say it's don't have, because if they don't feel it,
Yes.
it's nothing.
Because they say it to me, like, oh, I'm allergic to onion and garlic. So I always make the waiter or the floor staff to say like, okay, double check with them. Are they allergic or they just don't like it? Because for argument's sake, if it's the meatballs, you have garlic in it, you're not going to taste it. Or if you're worried about having garlic breath, you're not going to get garlic breath off that kind of thing.
No.
But if you have an allergy, you need to tell them they can't have half the menu, because we're serving Spanish food and there's so much garlic in Spanish cuisine anyway, and but another funny one we always get, like, because our name is El Cerdo, which means the pig or pork in Spanish, right? And then people will sit down, they'll be like, oh, I don't eat pork, and I'm like, you just walked into a restaurant called El Cerdo.
That it is funny.
Same
as when the people go asking for ceviches, and they says, I cannot eat raw fish. I'm like, right?
But technically it's not raw though, right? Because it's chemically cooked.
Technically it's not raw. If you want eat ceviche and you don't like raw fish, or you don't eat raw fish for bacteria whatsoever, which I do understand, just leave it there aside for 5-10 minutes. And it will be completely fully cooked for the acidity of the lime, because full lime.
Yeah, of course.
And salt and everything. And
it would just have a different texture.
Which will kill all the bacteria.
But it would just have a different
texture. Of course, because you will lose the fish flavor or the freshness of the fish. But still, because in the beginning, it's like when I was in my first restaurant here in Chicha, like many people I was, I don't eat raw fish. Can you cook? Like,
Yeah.
no,
I've always
no,
had, like,
no.
I've always had like in restaurants that I've been to.
Let's just go black a little bit.
Yeah. Restaurants I've worked in before, and they're like, oh, can I get the steak tartare? And you send it out. Of course, it's raw beef. And they're like, can you cook it? And we're like, no. Yeah. I remember being on holiday in Belgium, and we went to this restaurant, and it's one we really want to go to. It was a super cold day, and we had to climb up this hill to get to it, and then we got there, and like the beef tartare was quite famous, so it's like, oh, let's get the beef tartare. So I was like, oh, I'll take the beef tartare, but I got like main course size, because we had some other different styles. I said, oh, get the main course size, and the guy was like, you do know it's raw beef? And I'm like, yeah. But I think he was quite shocked. I don't know. Maybe a lot of English tourists go in. Like, British people are the worst with food sometimes, I think. And they're like, I think he just thought, oh, more British people, like, they don't know what steak tartare is. Like, it's raw. And when I said, yeah, he looked quite shocked that I knew that it was raw beef.
I do believe that one because I have a good friend of mine, and when we was one time talking about these things in Singapore, she told me, oh, but I go to, my first experience about something like that is in France, no? And she asked for steak tartare. No, and coming raw, she requested to cook.
Oh, God.
Well done. Okay. And I was like, no way, I kill you. You do that one? No, it's I don't like raw beef. Like, so how on earth?
Yeah.
Why on earth you ask for a steak tartare? I didn't know it's raw. Well, girl, you should know. Or at least that. Like,
did she work in F&B?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it was funny, that thing. And I laugh and I hate her. I was after that, and I says when we was going to a restaurant and we something in French or something different, and and she ordered do you know what exactly is? And she's like, Arturo, stop it! Already 6 months about it. And I was like, don't just. I want to make sure that you don't get disappointed.
Yeah.
No? Because even though with Chinese cuisine or every cuisine, I think so they have certain techniques, and when people don't know exactly and then coming, they like, oh, it is this. So I think most of the time people make comments or assumptions, and when go to places they don't get it what's going on, and then they get disappointed, and then it's easy to blame the restaurant or the technique of the cooking thing or the chef rather than blame yourself because you
didn't know what it was, or you didn't ask what it was, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, or you didn't ask. Because for me, actually, I was having a conversation about this with someone last night. Someone like a customer in the restaurant, and it's like, this is why I like the idea of tapas or dim sum or like small sharing dishes as a concept to eat in, because for argument's sake, okay, let's say me and you go out, we order 5 tapas. If we like 4 of them, but there's one that a dish we've never heard of before, and we're like, let's try it, I've never heard of that. And it comes and it's not what you expect, or it's disappointing, or it's not that good. But you enjoy the other 4 tapas, your night isn't ruined. One dish was, whether it's the fault of the chef or whether it's the fault of you as a customer, like you were just explaining, it's like, oh, your night isn't ruined. And it's like, I've enjoyed 4 dishes, but I know, okay, this one dish I've never heard of isn't my kind of thing. I'm never going to order it again. So
I'm in the same part. For example, last day you remember when I go to El Cerdo and we eat a lot. The funny thing is, I don't like seafood usually. I'm not a seafood person, but I love your gambas.
Yeah, you get that every time.
Every time, you know me. At least it's 2 items that I will order for sure.
Yeah,
tortilla and gambas all the time in El Cerdo. They're beautiful. No, and then of course Arati don't like it.
Okay.
No, she don't eat, but she like calamari.
Okay.
And I don't like calamari. But it was nice because I ordered what I want, she ordered what she wants.
And then
I buy a bit of the calamari, which is nice. I don't say, is your recipe wrong? I say it's not my cup of tea, no? Or cup of coffee, or cup of wine, I don't know, or cup of gin.
Glass of wine would be better.
Exactly, talking about wine, let me put a little bit more. But we did enjoy, and then the funny thing, she see the prawns there, she's like, oh, I will eat one, just one tita. And of course, after that one, I says, good, more for me. After that one, oh, I was so bad host. Should we serve you first? Sorry.
How long have you been friends? I don't care anymore.
Totally.
Well, if you've known each other 10 years now, right?
10 years.
Yeah, no, 9 years. You 2012, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 years.
We need to go into that story next time, I think.
But then, but in fact, she was eating more gambas. So
Yeah.
I think it's good when you go, as you say, places that have many small items, no? And at least if you don't enjoy one, the other ones pull you up the night. But of course, if you are seriously in your diet, you should be as the guest, you should be as the waiter, what you tell them what you can eat it and what you and your preference, and we'll make it, no? Because for me it's so challenging. One time coming to Tokyo Lima, a table of I think so was 6 people. They want fitting menu, which is our tasting menu.
That's what I like about Rust Group is the chef's menu, the tasting menu, and all that. I like that idea because you get a surprise because you don't really know what's coming, right?
Exactly.
So you get a surprise. Well, they ask you about your dietary requirements, as you said before, but then you get to try lots of different things.
I love
you may
different
not
things.
try,
no?
yeah.
But
really
it is hard
and
because
it's really cheap as well. You need to check it out.
everything need to be for sharing. But when you have 6 people and one is vegan,
oh god,
one is
this is what you
pescatarian.
had. When was this?
No,
When did you have this one?
before I take my holidays.
Oh,
That's why when finish the week I was like, yes, seriously. One is vegetarian and one is on keto diet. One is gluten free. You are like,
and you're like, best you don't do this menu. Just order the food that you want.
exactly. Don't make me. And they were please. I'm like, no, go away, busy.
So normally, like when in the whole of Pirata Group, let's say no one has dietary requirements. When the table choose the omakase menu, the chef's menu, is it generally like, okay, we'll do this, and this?
Yeah,
providing you have full stock. So normally it's like the menu is set, right? Yeah.
It's normally the menu set because we try to bring our best to the guests always, no? I will send all my goodies, no? And I think so the same way working all the outlets. But then, of course, if people say it's for some preference, they prefer to not pork or to not.
Yeah,
this.
no, this is my point. If I don't have a preference, is the menu generally the same? Or who gets to decide the menu? Is it you or is it the floor staff?
Well, actually, when we open, I made the templates. Like, we should have the guess if 2, 4, 5, how much food they need to have it. And from certain dishes, 3 or 2 from this area, 3 or 2 from this one, and 2 for here, and 1 for here, and 2 desserts. It depends, no? So they have a template. For my good friends, I love always to decide it, no? Because it's more touch personal, but I cannot decide for all the restaurant because we will lose time.
Yeah.
No? So what we try to put there is always send the best, no? The goodies. The iconic Tokyo Lima, like the dishes that since I opened and they are super mastered.
The ones that fan favorites kind of
fan favorite,
okay. So how did you decide in the beginning this like what's going to go on the menu, and have you changed it from the start to where you are now?
Well, my first menu 5 years ago did change.
5 years already.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Oh, coming up 6 years then, huh?
We will have. Yeah, we opened 2017 January.
Yeah.
2018 to January.
Oh no!
Yeah, 4 years.
Coming up to 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will go 5 years.
So we're terrible.
And we do food costing.
Yeah.
I know, right? And I love when I need to count with my fingers because otherwise I get lost.
No.
I have many problems, not just the language, also the mathematics. Is maybe...
me too. I'm terrible at math.
Yeah.
So.
But so bad. Cheers, guys.
I got a drink now.
But the fact is, what were we talking about again before? Okay, about my menu. I must say it changed like 40% from the original one. So this 60% we call the iconic items.
Yeah.
No? Or let's say 50-50, no? But then after a while, every season I coming up with a collection. I talking about collections in Tokyo Lima. I don't talk about new menus because my menu original already made it. So every 6 months or 8 we change. I change few items, no? And do a new collection. Each collection have a name and topic, no? The last collection I did have was no restrictions.
Okay.
I call it no restrictions because I want to get out of the flavors of Peru and Japan. So I use inspiration from Brazil, India, Thailand, no?
Yeah.
And we make all the history about it. And it's funny because when I decided the name of the menu was before COVID.
Okay.
No, so I call no restrictions for that reason. But when we started launching the menu and we still have restrictions for COVID situation, people says, "Oh, you're doing this one in purpose for like a." No, it's just. It is happening, matter, but it was funny, and we take it, no? Some people think like I was a bit mean with the situation of the restrictions, but no. What's about it? How about you? How many times you change the menu? Or what you do in Cerdo? You change menu, or you prefer
we used to.
with the specials?
When we're in Wan Chai, we used to change every around 6 to 9 months. We would change the menu depending on what's going on. But now we just opened Central. We've actually reduced the menu quite a lot, and we're just going to do a lot more specials instead. Because I think either if you can change your menu constantly or do specials, it just gives people a reason to come back. If you can see you're constantly changing them. But my problem is, I want to ask you this question. It's like when we're in Wan Chai, like we have so many regulars in Wan Chai, like and especially now, like during COVID, before we closed down our Wan Chai store, it's like we were just being supported by regulars mainly, and every regular has a different dish that they like, or a few dishes that they like. So it's like when we're coming to change the menu, it's like, what do we take off the menu? And it's like, okay, let's take this, and this stuff. And Donna would be like, oh yeah, but this is Dave's favorite, or this is Bill's favorite, or this is Teresa's favorite, or whatever. And it's just like, we can't take off the menu for that one person. It's like, in the end, my menu just ended up growing, and I didn't take anything off. I just added new items that I wanted to do on there. Because for some reason, specials didn't work in Wan Chai. We tried them at first, and it just didn't work. Like even now in Central, we've only been open for, well, whenever this video goes out, I don't know, but as we're recording, so we've been open for less than a week.
Here already says it's less than a week.
Yeah, right? Less than a week. Yeah. So it's kind of like.
You recently started knowing what will be happening.
Yeah, but the thing is, like specials have already started selling a lot more, and it's like people are like.
Because it was in Central before, so you get it what's going on in Central.
And then they're constantly like going up in Wan Chai. It just never sold, and be like, oh, we have these specials. Like, we just stick to our favorite. Or our regulars be like, no, we just stick to the things that we know and like. Do you know what I mean? Not like, okay, let's stick to the 4 things that we like and try one special. Like, no, we want the things that we like. So it's just like, it didn't really
It is
sell.
hard.
Yeah.
It is hard to take the decisions, no? This time I put you first.
Thank you.
It is hard, but if you need to do... It is 2 things. Or you refresh your menu to be a little bit more trendy, or you just keep it what you're doing, and people will start to get bored.
Yeah.
And then for Tokyo Lima, what I did in the beginning was, of course, usually when you open for first time ever a concept of restaurant, some recipes will change it, or some food will change it, no? Because I was telling Manuel, sometimes he says like, oh, I don't like this dish, maybe you can make 3 or 4 different versions of this dish, and I says, no. A dish is like a person, so if you like it, good. If you don't like it, I present you something different, because I won't waste my time to make that thing in 3 different versions to see what is good for you, because maybe that is good for you, but not for anyone else. If you don't like the concept of this food, of this dish, take it out from the menu totally, or won't go. No. And the other fact, so in the beginning, certain items was no well received for the guests and the feedback. So I understand that people don't understand this person or this dish, so I take it out and I put new ones. No, one of the challenging ones was at the beginning was the tuna tartare, and then after a week I said, okay, let's mix this, boom on the dish, and then people are, oh my god, it's amazing. So I'm starting to understand which dishes I will never change it, like which I call iconic.
That was going to be my next question. Like, so do you have certain dishes that you could never take off the menu? Because people would be like, where's this dish? Where's this dish? Where's this dish? Yeah. Why is it not on the menu anymore?
In the end of the day, the other ones, at a certain point, I need to take it out to refresh my menu. Taking the risk that some people will get disappointed, but they need to know new ones. So after, that's why it says collection, because after a collection is finished or is done, and I need to remove, I can decide it if I keep the dish or I change it and I put back something. But every time that I put back something from the past collections, I try to make kind of a new refreshment on the dish. For example, one great disappointing was when I take out octopus skewers because people love it.
Okay.
To be honest, I hate octopus. No, it's not. I don't hate it.
It's not.
I don't like.
It's not your favorite thing.
It's not my
Not your
thing.
go-to.
No.
If you see it on the menu, you're like, I'm not ordering.
I pass. No, it's in the table. I don't mind it. I might try a little bit.
Yeah.
But of course, I understand people love octopus, so I try to always. I make I push my hard on myself to make something good. So after a while, I take the octopus. It was almost a year and a half later, I put it back. So, but I put it back in different version. You know? So before I was having octopus sticks, and then my new version is like supposedly I will say it octopus is back, but you know me, I try to be kinky, so I put octopus is black. Because when you try black, you never come back. So it's hard, but I think it's what I do. It's a matter of playing games, no? I take out something.
And is it still on your menu to this day now?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And I think so. I won't change that one because I have really good feedbacks, no?
Okay.
So it is hard when you have good feedbacks and then you want to change, and then as you say, instead to change and keep the same menu, the menu is like from 20 dishes grow up to 25, 26, and then afterwards you love all of them also, so you don't want to change it, but. It is hardcore, that part.
Because it's hard when you don't like a certain product necessarily yourself. Like you don't like octopus. It's hard to be like, oh, I want to keep it on the menu because you don't like it, and you can't be that like because you generally don't like octopus, whatever form it comes in, whether it's Spanish style or Peruvian style or Japanese or whatever. You're like, yeah, but I just don't like octopus, so I don't see the attraction. It's hard for you to keep it on your menu, right?
Yeah.
Because I have one dish on my menu, and we just do like a Spanish blue cheese Valdeon stuffed inside a fig, wrapped with serrano ham. You just bake it in the oven for 10 minutes. And I do like blue cheese. It's not my favorite cheese, but I do really like. It's not my favorite cheese. But Donna loves the dish, and she's like, it has to stay on the menu. When we're doing Central, I was like, oh, I think I would take it off and then do it as a special, something like that. And then she's like, no, keep it on the menu, keep it on the menu. I was like, I can do it as a special. And then, eventually I did take it off. But my thing is that I do like blue cheeses, and I think Spanish cheeses are very underrated. Yeah. But I just don't think Spanish blue cheeses are
good ones.
As good as French or British or Italian. I think there's so much better blue cheeses out there, but being a Spanish restaurant,
you need to use the Spanish brand.
I want to use a Spanish blue cheese, and I use Valdeon as opposed to some others because that's the best one. But I just don't think the balance is there as good. But it always got really, really good feedback when people ordered it. So
we sometimes don't understand that part when you don't like a product or it's not your thing, no? I might say you could use the Stilton because you're British cooking. So it could work because I'm no blue cheese person also, but rather than the French one, I prefer the British one.
Okay.
No, I found that it's a bit more quite my balanced thing.
Yeah.
No?
It's less. Yeah, it's not as strong. I don't think generally.
Yeah, I love really rich flavors, but certain flavors like truffles or caviar is not my thing.
No, I think caviar is the most overrated food in the world.
Yeah,
I really genuinely do that, and oysters. I think
people
the two
love
it, especially here in Hong Kong.
I
met a 12-year-old.
I mean, for me, it is funny that part because if you want to make something elevated, you just put truffles and already it is.
But it just tastes like truffle then, right? This is why I don't. Okay, to be fair, I like truffle a lot. But so for argument's sake, if you were to get like a truffle risotto, it's perfect with the cheese. It's perfect. I love truffle, but the thing is with like caviar and oysters, it just tastes like salt. Oysters. It just tastes like salt. It just tastes like seawater. That's all it tastes, both of them. Like, if you want to put some kind of, like, roe on top of something, for me, it has to be a salmon roe. Because the texture and the taste is so... The taste is really well balanced, and it goes... Because it's a little bit sweeter, but you can marinate it with soy sauce to give it that little bit of saltiness like the Japanese do. And it just kind of... It doesn't overpower the dish. It just kind of, like, complements the dish, right? And then you also get some, like, texture in there, which... I think we discussed before, like textures is what my favorite thing, more than taste, I think texture is like.
Helps a lot.
And I love it. I like to feel something with like going through your mouth, like with a lot of textures in it.
I know you love something to go to your mouth.
But when I'm eating, I like textures in my, like as much as flavor. I like textures as well.
Yeah.
So. And caviar, I just think I think it's so overrated. I know maybe that's controversial, I don't know, but I just think it's, as a chef,
it is controversial, I think so, because caviar is one of the high products, let's say it, like super refined. And if you are a fancy person, you should eat caviar, but I don't find that attraction for that caviar. No. And I don't find attraction for seafood, for example. People die for scallops or squid or prawn, and I don't get it. No, for myself, I get it. People love it, so I cook it. And
agreed.
Of course, you need to make your effort.
I'm the same as you, but
try it for myself. I don't mind if it's there, but it won't be my first choice. Oysters, for example, I hate it because they have just one flavor. Could be salty, more salty, less salty.
Yeah, some can be a little bit like creamy. They can be like
Like, I get at that point.
Some of the French ones can be a bit more creamy.
I get at that point, but
it
then
still just tastes like seawater.
And also it's annoying if you are busy, and a table coming and order 20 oysters. You have one person.
I had a pie episode.
I hated opening oysters. You know how many times I catch my hands for that?
In Chuma, I think it was last month or the month before. I think it's beginning of June. We had a party of like, I think it was like 20 odd people, and they ordered like 48 oysters, and I had to shuck every single one of them. I was like, oh god, because I wanted to do it like out in the restaurant so they can see me shucking, so they know that it's fresh. And then like some people ordered like some baked ones as well, rather than I think we sold like 52 oysters in the end or something like that. And it's just like it's just me shucking them. I was like, oh god.
I hate it.
Can't stand it. But I have to shuck it and then make the baked ones as well.
Yeah, because like, the oyster you need to open fresh. Most of the time, so you can have all the full flavor. Otherwise, it will get lost. And the only time I get appreciated oysters was when I go to Spain. In Madrid, this market, Mercado San Miguel. Always I change the name.
Where is it?
In Madrid.
Oh, okay. Not Plaza Mayor.
No. Mercado San Miguel, I think so.
Okay.
Well, if your Spanish friend remember or see this video, can correct and put a comment. But
I have no clue about Spain. Spanish restaurant.
But then in that market, because they said many products, wine, seafood, everything, they was having fresh oysters from France, from Italy, from Spain.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, even though it's not my thing, I should take that opportunity to try it.
Yep.
Because of course, one thing is being Hong Kong and have them here, but be there is more fresh, no? So I get it. At that momentum, I get it when the difference between the Italian, French, Spanish oysters and the flavor of the saltiness and creaminess. So I did appreciate that one. But once in a life, I try it. I appreciate it. That's enough. No, if it's oysters in my plate, okay, but it's not my thing.
Actually, oysters, they're quite expensive now, right? But like in the UK, if you go back to the 1800s, oysters were really, really cheap. So
like mussels,
like super cheap. So we have this thing in the UK called steak and kidney pie, right? So you have the steak in there, but use the kidney as a filler because it's so cheap. Yeah. And then you get more yield out of the mixture that you make. And but before it's steak and kidney pie, it used to be steak and oyster pie. Wow. Oyster was the filler because they were so cheap.
So you put a lot of oyster. Wow.
Yeah, because like if I'm not mistaken, oysters are what we call bottom feeders, so they clean the sea, right? And if I'm not mistaken, one oyster can filter like 50 gallons of water per day, or 25 or something like that. I'll check it out next time. So they clean the sea, so basically they have loads of like rubbish going through them. So they're actually what we call bottom feeders, and they filter the sea. So all that stuff is like they ingest all that stuff. So you're eating like a cleaner of the sea. But then for some reason the French made them a delicacy, and they just become really, really expensive. But going to what you were saying, like when you were eating them in Spain, I had them last time I was in London, we went to Borough Market, and we had some fresh ones from from the UK, but they're not from that far away. So it's like the people I aware have ordered like I think a dozen, and I'm like, okay, I'll try one because I'm here. I might as well. But it was like a really cold day as well, like early in the morning, and I was just like, it's cold. This is cold. I don't want cold food, or I don't want raw food first thing in the morning as well. But it's okay, but it's nothing special. I don't find it special.
No, me neither.
Yeah, actually, I got food poisoning off of it.
I found it annoying because you need to open it, you need to keep it, and take more time. I appreciate the fact that, of course, it's expensive because if you have a beautiful oyster, people enjoy it. But then, when you're working and it's busy night, and then people are ordering oysters, I'm the first one, even though I don't open it because I hate open. My guys do it, but I'm the first one who suffer about it. And everyone's like, again, more oyster. I cannot take out that one in the menu, even though I don't like it, because it's one of not our bestseller, but people like to have it, no? And people like to have variety and choices about things. The other things, for example, choices. You need to have many choices for everyone, but I believe when your menu is too big and you bring to people many choices.
No more wine left. Where's it gone? Why are you guys still here if we don't have any wine left?
We'll come in next week, no worries. Our second part coming next.
Yeah. Next week.
We talk too much.
We need to get more wine.
Yes.
Before we start talking again. So come and see us next week. We've got more wine and
Bye.
more stories. See you next week.